Up here in the top left of the editor, you will see the version of Scroll Cinema that you are currently using. Right now we are in version 0.5.0, and when there are updates available, you will see a button here that will allow you to select the most recent versions. If you'd like to get an idea of what the current version of Scroll Cinema that you are on offers, you can come to the release notes here, where we have details on the features as well as the bugs that have been fixed, any outstanding bugs, and any breaking changes that you can keep in mind for your current version or any versions that you may potentially like to update to. We have a link here for reporting bugs. This will take you to our Discord channel where we have a dedicated space for reporting bugs as well as requesting features. So that is something to keep in mind. Here's where you can give your project a title. We also have buttons to save draft and to preview your project. Before your project is published, these buttons will show up as save draft and preview. After your project is published, they will show up as update and view. So that's something to keep in mind there. When you export, you can export to either HTML or as a project file. So exporting to an HTML file will allow you to host your project anywhere. So Scroll Cinema lives on AltSalt, but of course you can feel free to host and distribute your project anywhere else. Project files are used for backing up your project if you're about to make substantial changes. I also recommend making a backup of your project every so often, just in case. We do have measures in place to retrieve projects on altsalt.com as well. But yeah, that's just something to keep in mind for backup reasons and for making sure everything's always safe. In addition, for backups and dealing with potential bugs or problems, we have this revisions flow. So this is meant to be used as sort of a last resort or as a just in case to be able to revert to previous versions of your project if you have run into some bugs or if you've messed something up. We keep track of the previous 8 to 10 revisions, I believe. And this can be a little bit unreliable, in particular because if you have assets in your project that were there previously, but then you delete them, the project window over here can become out of sync. So just keep that in mind when you're going through the revisions or if you use that flow. The publish settings we'll go into more detail on later. That will take you to the WordPress side of AltSalt where you can publish your project, if you so choose, on AltSalt very easily. And I'll just briefly go over all of the tabs as well. So the hierarchy is where all of your content lives. This includes text, images, shapes, and groups. The preview window allows you to see your edits and animations in real time, as well as manipulate your nodes. The inspectors allow you to more precisely change the details of your nodes, as well as modify particular properties that you can't get to using the what you see is what you get here in the middle. This tab, the project one, is used for importing assets. This includes image and audio assets as well as folders to organize them. This is also where we house all of our animations, so we'll be going over the project window more in depth soon. Optimization is used for when you're ready to publish your project. This allows you to optimize it for mobile devices in particular to make sure that it runs smoothly on everything. And down here below, we have the timeline and the timeline inspector. So these are used to control animations, or rather preview animations. And the timeline inspector is used to modify and inspect values on your clips and keyframes. So the general inspector is used to modify values on your hierarchy and your project items, and the timeline inspector is used to modify and adjust values in your timeline.